Boys and girls, today we're going to be creating some art using our names, and we're going to be making graffiti art, which we've talked about. Hopefully you've watched the video already, seen some examples. I'm going to have a packet of each style on your table, and you can choose whichever one you want to use. You will be sharing them with your table mates. So when you're ready, find the first letter of your name, and you'll probably want to start by writing your name on the back. My name is Christine, so I'm going to go Christine. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to see how many letters do I have to space into this area, okay? And what are my middle letters? So if I try to find out what the middle letter is, I could cross off the end ones until I get to the center. And S is actually the middle letter. So when I go to start this, I'm actually going to put the S in the center and then work my way out. Okay, so I'm going to start with the letter S. Since you're sharing these, you'll probably have to take turns and wait for people, but that's okay. Patience is a virtue. You can also take a ruler and make a line across here if you want to help yourself line them up evenly. But remember, graffiti artists, they did not have any kind of rulers or anything. Most likely they were out there at night drawing this with paint, so they didn't even use a pencil or anything. We're going to use a pencil just to get the general idea of it. We're also going to do a shadow. You might have noticed that this one has shadows, this one doesn't, and overlapping. So when you looks like it should be that way. When you go to do your second letter, you're going to want to overlap it a little bit. So my next letter, flip it over, my next letter is T. So when I put the T in there, I don't want to put the T with space between it. I'm actually going to overlap it. And you can make the overlap, you can make the T on top or the S on top. It doesn't matter which one. I think I'm going to put the T on top. So, and it's kind of hard to see. If it's a little hard to see, lift it up and look at what it really looks like so you can tell what you're doing. I couldn't really tell there because the shadow is a little bit, makes it a little tricky. Okay, now once you take it off, look and see, okay, this is the T, and so I don't want that S there, and I don't want the S, oops, you can't see that. I'm erasing the lines where the S overlaps the T so that it doesn't, so it looks like the T is on top. Okay, then I have to fit I, N, and E. In order to fit your name, you may have to even overlap more. Okay, so when I get to the I, that's a skinny letter, so it should be okay, right? But I have to fit N, E. Yeah, it should be okay. I think I'm going to make the I about there. Remember, you're the artist, so you get to make all the decisions about spacing and how much overlap you want, how you want it to look, because this is yours. And I see there's a little bit of a shadow right here. Now we're going to take it away, and I'm looking, I want to be able to see the I and not the T right here, so I'm going to erase the lines that were the outline of the T, so that all I can see is the I, and the T falls behind that way. Okay, same thing for N. So I'm going to put my N in here, and I'm going to overlap it again. And you can make it like one be up and one be down if you kind of think that looks better. Just play around with it, see what you think looks good. Alright, I finished tracing those letters on. If you feel creative, you can create your own graffiti letters. You don't have to do one of these. These are just something to make it a little simpler, saves a little time. However, if you do choose to do your own, you're going to have to work kind of quickly because you don't want to get behind. You want to be able to have time to do the background and all that. So, next thing we're going to do is grab a Sharpie, and you're going to go around each one of these letters with the Sharpie. Okay, now we're going to go back in and use the black to shade in the shadow. So you're going to fill in all of the shadow with your black Sharpie so that it fades into the background. It'll give it a 3D feeling. Okay, when you're finished, make sure you clean up any pencil lines so that it looks nice and neat. And check the back to make sure that you have your name and class code. And remember, we want our first name, last name, and whatever class you're in. So 3A, or maybe you're in 3B, or maybe you're in 3C, and circle it. Okay? And that is what we need to get done today.